Woo! What's up, y'all? Marcus Frazier from Teachable Tuesdays here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. Thank you for joining me today. Greatly appreciate it. This is not really going to be a Teachable Tuesday short, but it is going to be a bit of a shorter video. But I want to talk to you guys about something very interesting that I didn't really think of, but I've been seeing it on social media. I've seen it on YouTube, and y'all know, unfortunately, in today's society, divorce rates are at an all-time skyrocket high. And there's multiple reasons for that. And of course, it's not just one-sided, although studies suggest that there are women who do most of the divorcing compared to men. And I wanted to look at this from a biblical perspective because it was a scripture that I knew about that I never really thought about until today. I was watching Pastor Allen, shout out to him, on his channel, and he was talking about, single people that have a burning, desire to be physically intimate, and what should they do in that type of situation? Should they just go ahead and get married? Should they remain single? So on and so forth, right? And towards the end, he started talking about some final points. And one of the points that he was making as far as why you should be careful, he brought up 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 10. And in that scripture, it talks about how if you marry, the only way that you should talks about divorce, but let's bring it up first. Divorce should really only happen through infidelity. You know what I'm saying? AKA, cheating took place. And also, I want to say possibly abuse as well. I'm going to look it up and see. I'm going to fact check it. I don't want to say something and that not be true, but definitely infidelity for sure, right? And I bring it up because a lot of times when you hear people are divorcing, and I hear some women on the internet say this, they'll be like, oh, I divorced him because I wasn't happy. I divorced him because we couldn't be on equal footing, or what's the word I'm looking for? Irreconcilable differences. But, I always thought growing up that, the only time you could technically divorce someone was, if there were certain circumstances involved, because marriage is essentially what? It's a covenant. So, Lord and behold, I was actually right about that. And when I looked at the scripture for 1 Corinthians, it kind of confirmed what I was thinking about. And that confirmation was along the lines of this. Should you marry, there's only two ways in which, this can happen. I mean, if you decide to leave your husband or your wife. If you decide to leave your husband or wife, you have to either be single or you have to reconcile with your partner. And I find that very interesting because there are a lot of people, and this is for both men and women, that now I've never been married, so, I only have so much leverage. I'm just going off of what scripture says as somebody who wants to get married, as somebody who's, learning and, in the process of learning, and preparing to be a husband. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things for me where it's like, when I looked at that scripture, I was like, well, that's interesting because there are a lot of people that, they start dating somebody else. Sometimes they do it before the divorce is even finalized, right? But yet it says, and this is scripture. This ain't what Marcus is saying. This is literally in the scripture. You break things up, or they break things up with you, whatever the case may be. Either y'all got to reconcile at some point, or you can't get remarried. I mean, well, you shouldn't get remarried, or you be single for the rest of your life. Why do I bring this up? I bring this up to say I think people have to be very careful in who they choose for marriage, because it really is a lifelong thing. Now, if you're not a believer, then this video doesn't apply to you. But if you are a believer and you're someone who confesses to be in the faith of Christ, you got to really understand that how important this is. Because first of all, I've always been told that who you marry plays a huge part, right, in your life and how things will go moving forward. It can either bless your life up or stress your life down, right? And that's me putting it nicely. But, that's another reason that I had a revelation of why it was so important, because it's like, yo, you get married, and I always knew once you get married, you're supposed to be locked down for life with them, but you really real deal locked down. That's why in the vows it says, for better, for worse, through sickness, health, do rich or the poor, you know? So I hope this is encouragement, not just to myself, but to so many people like myself who may be currently single. Maybe there's somebody that you have interest in you're getting to know, or maybe there's nobody that you're getting to know. That choose your partner wisely, because once you locked in, and you can't get out. You're not technically supposed to get out. Marcus Frazier from Teachable Tuesdays, here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. Love you guys. Hopefully this helps somebody today. Until next time, peace.